morning.
Morning. We need to get started on the drainage district agenda. We have roll call, Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3, Commissioner Cuellar, Precinct 1, and myself. We do have a quorum. Do you have anybody sign up on the open?
Not that I'm aware of, Commissioner. No, sir.
Okay, having none, we'll go to consent agenda.
We have no concerns on the consent agenda, Commissioner.
Move for approval. Second.
There's a motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, Godfrey.
Item 4, acceptance and approval of Edinburgh Consolidated Independent School District's right of entry. This is for the Fayetteville Drain, Commissioner. We've met with the school district. They've granted us a right of entry to start the installation of our storm sewer pipe. They've got the permanent easement on their agenda for our next board meeting. Everything's in order.
Move for approval. Second.
There's a motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 5, presentation scoring grid of firms evaluated the district's pool of title company services for the purpose of ranking by the Hidalgo County Drainage System No. 1 Board of Directors in connection with title company services for JO9 parcels 44, 45, and 46. The firms are Valley Land Title, Edwards Abstract Title. Valley Land Title with a scoring grid of 95, and Edwards Abstract with a scoring of 93.
Move for approval. Second.
Motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item B, pursuant to the board to approve requesting authority for Hidalgo County District No. 1 to negotiate contract with the No. 1 ranked firm of Valley Land Title for the provision of title services for JO9 parcels 44, 45, and 46. These are the standard state approved rates per se. That's what they charge us.
Approval. Second.
Motion, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We'll also be coming next week, Commissioners, with a split on the pool on the Valley Land Title and Edward Abstract for the remainder of those parcels for the board's consideration.
Okay.
Moving on, 2013 bond series request exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code, Section 262.024A4, for the provision of professional engineering services required for the following projects: Precinct 4, Sugarland, Vendetta Estates, Hohen Subdivision, San Carlos Regional Project, and State Highway 68 TxDOT roadway watershed studies.
Move for approval. Second.
There's a motion and a second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item D, presentation of scoring grids of the firms graded and evaluated through the district's pool of professional engineer for the purpose of ranking by the HCD No. 1 Board of Directors in connection with professional engineering services required for the above listed projects. Under project name Sugarland Drive, the firms that were evaluated with Intech Civil Engineering, Inc., Quintanilla Hadley and Associates, Inc., Millennium Engineering Group with Intech scoring in 98, Quintanilla Hadley and Associates 95, Millennium Engineering Group in 92. Next project is Vendetta Estates, 3 firms, Doss Logistics, Inc., Nate Smith Engineering, Inc., Urban Infrastructure Group, Inc., with a score of 97 for Doss Logistics, a 94 with Nate Smith Engineering, a 92 with Urban Infrastructure Group. Moving on for Hohen Subdivision, the 3 firms were Doss Logistics, Inc., Quintanilla Hadley and Associates, Inc., Millennium Engineering Group, with a scoring of Doss Logistics 97, Quintanilla Hadley and Associates 95, Millennium Engineering Group 92. On the San Carlos Regional Project, the firm's name are Doss Logistics, Inc., Civil Systems Engineering, Inc., and Nate Smith Engineering, Inc., with a scoring of 98 for Doss Logistics, Inc., a 95 for Civil Systems Engineering, Inc., and a 94 for Nate Smith Engineering, Inc. Under precinct number 4, State Highway 68 TxDOT roadway watershed study, LNG Engineering, Nate Smith Engineering, Inc., Urban Infrastructure Group, with a scoring of LNG Engineering 98, Nate Smith 94, and Urban Infrastructure 92. Will the board like to consider any other scores besides the scores as presented?
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
and in pursuant to the board's approval, requesting authority for the Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1 to negotiate professional engineering service agreement with the number 1 ranked firms listed above for the provision of engineering services for the following projects. Precinct 4, Sugarland. Number 2, Hohen Subdivision. Number 3, Number 2, Vendetta Estates. Number 3, Hohen Subdivision. Number 4, Untitled Regional Project. And number 5, State Highway 68 Textile Roadway Watershed Studies.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We have nothing under closed session unless the board wishes to entertain it.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries. We'll be in recess until 9:30. We want to welcome you this morning to this regular Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting for today, May the 28th, 2013. The entire court being present, we have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Father in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for all your blessings. Thank you for the rain that you have sent us. And please take care of the people who got too much rain or had the weather do something that put them in harm's way. We ask you to bless the commissioners and the judge and help them work together so we get the business of the county done and be fair to all. And we ask most of all to always remember our veterans, wherever they may be, the past ones, the present ones, and help us remember why we are free in this country. We ask this in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Any concerns with the consent agenda? I will pass on it. Notice that we have in our audience, at least I saw, yes, the 92nd District Court Judge Ricardo Rodriguez. Judge, I've been told you're here on item number 12A1 and A2. We have a policy of taking our elected officials up out of order.
Judge, Commissioners, I'm Arnold Patrick, the Director of Adult Probation.
Morning,
And-
sir.
Good morning. In February of this year, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice came and did a review of our Hidalgo County Drug Court program. They looked at 9 objectives, and they randomly selected December of 2012 to look at all these objectives. I know you have in front of you the executive summary, but just in short, of all the 9 objectives, we achieved 93% or higher on all of them, 7 of them reaching 100% compliance. Overall, an excellent rating, and we're very proud of the results of our review and our drug court and the results of the drug court. Questions? I believe that's 12.1 and 12.2 is the resolution.
Move to approve.
Aye, those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Commissioners, good morning. Judge, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Thank you for having us here this morning. Again, like Mr. Patrick mentioned to you, we got good reviews on the drug court. The drug court's doing well. It's doing its job, but the reason it's doing its job is because of the team effort that we have, not only myself, but the adult probation and everyone else who's involved in the drug court. And I just want to leave you with this, Commissioners, Judge. This is a card, one of the cards or letters that we get from some of the past members who've been in the drug court, and also some of the family members who also write to us. And this reads as follows: Dear Judge Rodriguez and drug court staff, it has been a year since our son graduated from drug court. What a wonderful growing year it has been for him and for us. How beautiful our young man's life has become thanks to the chance you all at the drug court gave him. There was one bump in the road, but I think the bump he needed. He just finished finals in the first semester of college. He tried in years in the past, but was unable to complete the semester. He is also working, has held his job for a year now. Thanks to your program, your dedication to our community, and hard work, my son has become the person God intended him to become. With a happy heart and a deep felt gratitude, this family thanks all of you sincerely. So this is just one example of the individuals that go through the program and finish and are successful. And I think I can say that the rate of recidivism is great. They don't come back. They're doing well, and it's at its low right now. So thank you for having us here, and we just wanted to give you a report of what's.
Would you mind telling the public what's involved, what an individual goes through when he goes through the program?
The individual, of course, has to qualify and has to be accepted into the drug court. First-time felony offenders. It has to be a drug-related offense or just the offense itself, a drug offense. And once they're in the program, they go through different phases of the drug court. Of course, as you see behind us, we have the adult probation and also counselors who are involved with these individuals day in, day out. It's a very intense program. It's more intense than just a regular probation if someone is placed. And once they complete this program, going through the different phases, at the end of the day, they have their felony case dismissed. And at the end of the day also, they can also have their records expunged. So they start brand new. But besides the case just being dismissed, they get intense help with a drug problem. And again, being that it's their first felony, it's not to say that they haven't used drugs before or addicted to it, but being that it's their first felony, we get to catch them early and give them the help that they need before sending them out to some kind of inpatient program or any other program that could cause them to come back. So that's pretty much what the program entails. And again, we want to thank all of you for allowing us to have this program and all the help that you give us as well. Okay. Yes, thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
Judge.
Yes,
Any
thank you,
other
Judge.
questions?
I don't know if Mr. Patrick wants to introduce the members of his staff that were involved in it.
I know you already took action to approve the proclamation declaring May 2013 a National Drug Court Month. I just wanted to read the section that does recognize the staff. It reads, whereas the success of the program and the participants' rehabilitation must be attributed to their personal initiative, but also to the comprehensive support provided by the drug court team, including the Honorable Judge Ricardo Rodriguez, the 92nd District Court Judge, Faustino Lopez, Supervisor, Victoria Beltran, John Silva, and Daniel Martinez, who are supervision officers, and Ms. Adriana Solis, who's a counselor, as well as the support that the team receives from various local, county, and state agencies, including the Hidalgo County Community Supervision and Corrections Department. The entire team is to be commended for the work they do to promote recovery and reduce recidivism. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Coffee down.
Thank you.
Karina, are we through with that item? That proclamation?
Did we vote?
I don't remember voting on it. Maybe we did.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
Mr. Qued, Mr. Qued's motion.
All right.
Well, they made a motion in a second, you didn't approve it.
All right, on our consent agenda, Mr. Ufracio, any concerns?
I don't have any concerns, Judge, unless somebody else has any, recommend approval.
Move for approval of consent agenda.
Okay. Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries. And on that prior motion, I don't believe we took a vote on it, the one proclaiming this month as a drug court month. There was a motion and a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries. Under open forum, Ms. Townsend.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, you all always have on the agenda, it's 7B today, and it's renovations to former administration building, first and second floors, update on courthouse portable building project. You've got these things, but we pretty well skip over them every week, so you don't usually ask for a running thing of what's going on, but I wish you did. I did take the opportunity to ask what the cost of the modular buildings is up to date so far. The district clerk's modular is $98,154. 2 and 3 court modulars are $937,706. And the CAS interior and exterior modifications are $1,369,216, which is total of $2,405,076.24. That's just for your knowledge. I know we can't do anything about it. It's done is done. But I wish you all would keep track every week what's going on. It should be ready to be moved into. That's what they told us, that we would be ready to move into it on the 25th. Today's the 28th. But anyhow, I want you guys to, gosh, I don't want to say pay attention more, because I think you do pay attention, but I wish you'd put it as a priority, what's going on with our projects. Because we are always talking about fairness to everybody in the county, it led us to the FLSA, the Federal Labor Standards Act. I mean, one thing leads to another, so we see, well, exactly what are we trying to do as public servants? And it says the principles of public accountability. Public accountability embodies the concept that elected officials and public agencies are held to a higher level of responsibility under the public trust that demands effective and efficient use of public funds in order to serve the public interest. It includes the notion that the use of public funds should always be in the public interest and not for individual or private gain, including the view that public employees should not be paid for time they do not work that is not otherwise guaranteed to them under the pertinent civil service employment agreement. And the public interest does not tolerate wasteful and abusive excesses such as padded payrolls or phantom employees. Now that's on a federal level. I mean, it's up there. I'm sure everybody has the same problems, but I think we need to be reminded every once in a while what public accountability is. And you know, I believe that it's a privilege to work for the county, and that people should be very thankful for their jobs and do 100%, not try to get off every time or, but fairness to everybody. Thank you very much.
Next presenter is Fern McClarity.
Good morning. I have two items. One is 6D. I see that we had someone go to Washington again, and the total is $2,353.99. And the taxpayers would like to know what we get from this. Why does anyone need to go out of the county? The county has conference calls. Just today, look at the other agendas and look at our phone bills. We should be able to do this from the county. That way, possibly even someone up there, the sitting, could do it. But we're sending people over there, and we noticed that on this trip, I did not see anywhere where there was it's called the Metro, but up there it's a rail. I didn't see where he had ridden that. So obviously he stayed in Washington. When we went over there a few years ago, went to Washington, as I've stated, we stayed way out in a little town. I'm not sure where I was at. And we had to get up early, get over there, get in line, get on that little train that they have there, risk your life to get on and get off. And we rode in about 30 minutes. I don't see this. So, like I say, the taxpayers would like to know why we have to make these trips. And we'd also like to know, what did we get from it? Like I say, we get trips, they go on trips, different ones end up in Washington, but we never find anything. What did we get? What was the dollar amount? What are the big things? We got another head count on the census? How many times can you count these people? But we keep asking. And then, like I said, on 11, and it's several of them here, it's on the phone bills. This is under the health department, I believe. 1 month, and most of these are $1,000, $1,033, $1,600, $1,400. Where are these people calling in a month's time? And I did find out these are landlines. I thought a landline had a certain amount of cost, so why are we paying thousands of dollars per month for a landline phone? Who are they calling? Are they calling Washington? Maybe they are taking my thing here and saving us instead of taking a trip. But could you find out why these are so high, and could we try to curb our traveling And I understand that traveling may not be important, that you may not be putting it on the agenda any longer. If it's not out here so the public can see, we will be doing open records, and we will be putting the dollar amount each and every month if it takes that. The public need to know what you're spending. Thank you.
Judge, at the defense, I know items, Firm McClarty was referencing 6D in regards to that travel. That specific meeting, can I reference it, Steve?
You can put you on, make your comment under open forum.
Sure, I'd like to, just so that we can clear that issue up.
Go ahead.
Okay. In reference to that request, that meeting that was held on April 9th, and I know I see Rick Alvarez in the audience, I believe it was a meeting with the director of the census. And at that time, there were key personnel with the Census Bureau so that they can acknowledge the undercount that had happened. Also, the benefits of that trip was to put on us other pilot programs that the Census Bureau has so that we're able to count our growth yearly, so that when we get into the biannual count or we're getting into the next census count, Hidalgo County is going to be in a beneficial role to already acknowledge all the growth within the 10-year program. So that was crucial. I thought it was the best money spent to make sure that we were at that meeting with directors. It's very seldom you ever get a meeting with the director. And in regards to the Metro, it's unfortunate their hotel was placed outside the Metro lane. So not because they didn't choose to take the Metro wasn't accessible from the location that we had placed them to stay. But that's just to clear up item 6D. By taxi. Yeah. But it was a very beneficial meeting.
Well, to quantify it, there were 17,000 homes counted that were not counted by the Department of Census, times 4 people living in each home. That's 68,000 over a 10-year period of time at $1,500 a year per person. It's over $100 million that would have been lost to the county and may still be lost. We haven't won the case yet, but that's what we're shooting for. All right, Opal Billman.
Good morning. My name is Opal Billman. There is no third party in a marriage, just the husband and the wife who are spouses. There is no third person in a divorce settlement. There is just the spouses who own the community property. Our state community property law makes no consideration for a third person. The community property is earned by and belongs to the married couple, nobody else. No third person participated in the earning of any of the community property. The community property of Joe and me is 72 acres of land with capital improvements, all debt-free. Joe and I hold valid deeds to the land. Joe petitioned the court for a divorce. The judge's only job was to divide our community property in a fair settlement between Joe and me and give back to each of us our fair share. That would have been simple, and both Joe and I would have left the divorce action with better than average finances for both of our futures. Instead, the judge awarded neither Joe or me any of our community property. He determined our community property was excess land with no value, substituted 15 years of future rent in the amount of $650,000. For a divorce settlement, the judge divided the $650,000 41 to 59%, which is transparent bait and switch fraud. The court split our community property. We can now play eeny, meeny, miny, moe forever with these two properties, which both belong to Joe and me. Our 72 acres of debt-free land or the non-existent $650,000 rent. The land which was bought over a period of 45 years or the yet-to-be-earned rent that the court allows us 15 years use of our land to earn. Both properties are the community property of Opal and Joe Billman. Don't miss this. To have something to award us for a divorce settlement the judge allowed us 15 more years to earn our divorce settlement. Then the judge entangled and reserved our 72 acres of land with capital improvements by appointing a third-person beneficiary to inherit it. 5 years after Joe's death, the state of Texas has arrested, jailed, and prosecuted me through 2 trials for criminal trespass. I cannot trespass on land that I own. By jury trial, I was found not guilty twice. The state is still holding me in police-enforced false imprisonment and would like to prosecute me for the 3rd time, to use that as 3 strikes, you're out, and everything you own belongs to us for free and you're gone. Who does the state claim owns my community property?
You got 1 minute, ma'am.
Who does the state claim I am trespassing on? It's just the state who is prosecuting me. I have said loud and clear for years, the land is owned jointly and equally by Joe and me under state law. Is the state upholding and protecting the judge's bait and switch decision? Is the state claiming that I am trespassing on the beneficiary's property, or a dummy corporation with dummy assets and dummy shareholders? I've been through 2 trials in which that is the issue and still has not been acknowledged, addressed, or resolved. The court-appointed beneficiary claims to have bought Joe's land. For how much? What exactly did Joe sell? Joe cannot sell community property. When a person sells his property, it is to the highest buyer. How did the court beneficiary become the highest buyer? How much was Joe paid for his property? If the court-appointed beneficiary owns Joe's land, where are the records of the sale, a description of the property, and the amortization of the loan? Why isn't the court-appointed beneficiary present at my trials to accuse that I am trespassing on his land? The 6th Amendment says he has to be. I want my community property and I want my freedom, and thank you very much, and God bless America.
All right, next item, item 6A.
Morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Rick Alvarez with the County Judge's Office. The 83rd legislative session ended quietly yesterday. The House adjourned on Memorial Day. There is a call for a special session by the governor. The call is to ratify and adopt the interim maps under which the last election was held. It's my understanding that the
Are they
redistricting...
going to be redrawing lines?
No, sir. They're going to be adopting the interim maps. That's my understanding.
Okay.
From some of the state reps that I've talked to. It's not going to affect us down here. My understanding is that the special session will probably start tomorrow. I do want to bring something up on Senate Bill 878 by Patrick. That bill was passed last Wednesday. It was voted out of the House. This is a bill relates to the disposition and proceeds of property from the Criminal Asset Forfeiture Fund, also known as the Chapter 59 Forfeiture Fund. This bill lays out examples on how you can use this money, and one of the examples on how the Chapter 59 Forfeiture Fund can be used for now is for facilities costs, including building purchase, lease payments, remodeling, renovating, and maintenance and utilities. It also can be used for conferences and training expenses, including fees and materials. This bill is what this bill initially does is lay out the examples in detail on how this money can be used. That's all I got for now. What I will do is look at the budget that was passed by the legislature and report on that next week. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, sir. Item 6B, presentation on a 2013 South Texas Hurricane Conference.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, Karina Cardoso with the Public Affairs. Before I begin, I'd like to take this opportunity, I have not done it, I would like to introduce Ms. Hilda Salinas. She started in her office a couple of months ago, and I don't know if she's had the pleasure of meeting all of you all, so I just wanted to show the face right now. We have a presentation to show about the South Texas Hurricane Conference that we had last week, I believe, or was it the week before? It was a very successful event, and we wanted to show a little synopsis of the video.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel Olivares. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. And I'm extremely honored to be here for our South Texas Hurricane Conference that's being sponsored by City of McAllen, Hidalgo County Emergency Management, and Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. We have nearly 500 participants registered here today to be able to share in a regionalized effort in expanding our preparedness for hurricane season. We are already one of the leading regional teams in Texas in preparedness for hurricanes. We are wanting to get to the next level.
And go take a look around. I know you're emergency management, we all are. So go take a look around. Go talk to the people that are there. Go talk to the people manning the equipment. I think it's a good reminder for all of us what we're a part of. I think we walk away from there a little proud. Walk to the booth. So this information is there. That's information that was put together because of all of our work. And I think you come out of there very proud of what you're part of.
Thank you. As you can see, it was a very successful event. There were over 500 participants. It was a two-day conference, and this was made possible by a grant from the Health Department and with the partnerships that we had. And I would like to take this moment to recognize the Conference Executive Planning Committee. There are some members with us in the audience and some that are still working at their desks. But I would still like to recognize their efforts because it was a coordinated effort. It could not have been done without the input of everyone involved. We have Belinda Alvarez with the Hidalgo County Emergency Management, Monica Espinosa, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services, John Ovalle, Texas Department of Emergency Management, Josh Ramirez, City of McAllen, and Wendy Smith, City of McAllen, and of course our Office of Public Affairs, and we also have Nancy Pearl Trevino, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. We'd also like to recognize Misty Rains from the Health and Human Services, Mayra Barrera, Health and Human Services, Romeo Garcia, Health and Human Services, Julio Rivera, Health and Human Services, And resource and support included Gracie Lopez, Lauren Garcia from the Health and Human Services Department. So once again, we just wanted to show the court the efforts that this committee went through to put on this very successful conference. And that was part one of the agenda item. Would you like to say a few words first? Okay.
Judge, Commissioners, I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Wendy Smith, Assistant City Manager.
That's the second part.
Well, I like to acknowledge her anyway. I know it's the second part, but the reality is that City of McAllen and their tremendous work was fantastic. But Judge, Commissioners, we had 611 participants from across South Texas. It was a very, very educational conference. When we think about it from a cost savings point of view, the cost we looked at, we got this from a grant funding to provide this conference, along with some participation from the City of McAllen. If we were to send 5 people to an event in Austin or an event in Florida, it would have cost more, or nearly from half to more than what we put on this conference with. We're already planning for next year's. The education, awareness, and support was tremendous, and I'd really like to acknowledge the hard work Karina and Mr. Montoya. Chief did a great job with his team. They did some good work, so I'll let it go back to Karina. Sorry.
That's okay. He preempted me, but item 2 is, there was no action on item 1, which is presentation. Item 2, we would like to recognize the City of McAllen for their assistance in partnering with Hidalgo County for the 2013 South Texas Hurricane Conference. And as Eddie mentioned, we do have Ms. Wendy Smith, and she is the Assistant City Manager and Deputy EMC. And we also have Josh Ramirez here with us, and he is the Health Director for the City of McAllen. And we have a certificate to present them with. Let me read it. It reads, Ms. Wendy, if you will step up. And Josh? The County of Hidalgo, Texas presents this certificate of appreciation to the City of McAllen for outstanding assistance, dedication, and contribution during the 2013 South Texas Hurricane Conference. Presented today, May 28th, in 2013, by Hidalgo County Judge Ramon Garcia. Thank you so much for your assistance.
Really is our privilege to be here today. Good morning. To represent the mayor, both of them actually, Mayor Darling and Mayor Cortez, because the conference did take place sort of in the transition period, and they were both instrumental in their support of the conference as well as the City Commission. I think this was a great opportunity for us to showcase our own ongoing regional efforts. I think we show that there's strength in numbers, and if anything happens in this region, that we can come together and help each other in the same ways that the Metroplex was able to help West, Oklahoma City was able to help more. We can do that here with our own forces. So thank you very much for your support.
Thank you. Thank you.
And lastly, item 3 is very timely. This week is National Hurricane Preparedness Week, and there's a proclamation declaring May 26th through June 1st as Hurricane Preparedness Week in Hidalgo County. If I may read it briefly. Whereas Texas hurricane season officially begins June 1st and ends November 30th, and whereas the 624-mile Texas Gulf coastline, our area in particular, and areas of Texas hundreds of miles inland, are vulnerable to the devastating effects of a hurricane or tropical storm, and whereas the National Weather Service and the Texas Division of Emergency Management has designated the week of May 26th through June 1st, 2013 as Hurricane Preparedness Week, and whereas the best defense is preparedness and public education about the dangers of high winds, storm surge, flooding, and tornadoes that may occur for hundreds of miles in conjunction with a hurricane or tropical storm. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby formally designates May 26th through June 1st, 2013 as Hurricane Preparedness Week, and urges all citizens of this county and this community to participate in hurricane preparedness activities and to remain informed, to have a plan, and to be prepared. Approved this 28th day of May, 2013.
Second. Those in favor say aye. 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 Motion carries.
And lastly, I just wanted to say that there are a lot of activities going on, and I encourage the court and members of the public to look at the news, look at what's going on. We'll be having some fairs at the community centers with the Colonias residents throughout the month of June, and so we're planning and preparing that right now. And just if there's any questions or anything, visit our website, sign up for our emergency alerts, and stay informed and be prepared. Thank you very much. We can please have a picture.
Thank you.
You can take a picture right there.
Mr. Ramirez. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. All right, item 6C.
Good morning, Judge. Jaime Longoria with the County Judge's Office. Yes. Requesting approval to reimburse Adrian Guerra for meals and drinks incurred, cost incurred on 5/1/13 for the Hidalgo County Drainage Advisory Committee in the amount of $87.25, with authority for the county treasurer to issue payment after review and auditing procedures are completed.
Move for approval.
So moved.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
One clarification.
Yes.
When you say drinks, you're talking about...
There were soft drinks, yes, sir.
Soft drinks, okay.
Soft drinks and water.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you for that clarification, Commissioner.
Not enough money for...
Item 6D, requesting approval to pay Citibank invoice as claimed for Richard Alvarez airline ticket to attend the Census Bureau meeting held in Washington, D.C. on April the 9th.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item 7, Mr. Guerra.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. There's no action under items 7A, 1, and 2 unless there's action to be taken further down the agenda. Item B, I believe Virginia has given the court an update, but for clarification, as the court is well aware, I do inform the court weekly, if not daily, on this project. Yes, we are scheduled to complete it this month. We are currently working with the judicial with respect to their dockets, as there will be a transition from where they're currently housed being moved over to the modulars, and so that takes a little bit of planning with respect to their calendar and their docket specifically. But Judge, Commissioners, I will prepare a statement or a update that I will forward to your offices by tomorrow with respect to the project as a whole. Item C, I am asking under Texas Local Government Code 130.902 that the library increase its current change fund by $150 to $300.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D, I'm asking the court to accept the settlement check from State Farm Insurance Company in the amount of $454, and this will settle an auto accident with one of our county vehicles.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item E, I asked this agenda item to be placed. It's clarification and action on travel requests reviewed and processed by my office. Judge, Commissioners, there was some discussion a couple, 2-3 weeks ago with respect to the travel requests that were being placed on the agenda. As the court recalls, last year we swept all travel monies for all the departments, and so any travel request would then have to have been approved by Commissioners Court, as they did not have that those dollars in their specific budgets. During the budgeting process for this year, monies were allocated to the departments. And as Commissioner Tito Palacios brought up, it is an administrative function on my part. And so I want to clarify that travel requests are being reviewed and processed through my office and then aren't necessarily going to be brought before Commissioners Court, because again, that is a function of my office. One other thing, this information is available online. The 2013 out-of-county travel budget monies, countywide for general fund, is $339,000. In-county is $57,000. Again, that information is available through our website. So again, that's the Judge, Commissioners, for the sake of taking a vote, could I get action with respect to my office administering the travel requests and not coming to Commissioners Court?
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F, Judge Commissioners, this has to do with our volunteers. Currently, we have a maximum of 50 volunteers or 50 volunteer slots that we do yearly. And so I'm asking the court to accept the quote for the renewal of accident insurance coverage for volunteers from Montalvo Insurance Agency. Again, the coverage period would be from June 15th of 2013 to June 5th, 2014. I'm asking this as well as authorization for myself to sign the documents as needed.
Move for approval.
Well, this doesn't require competitive bidding?
I'm sorry?
Does this require competitive bidding?
No, this is under $1,000. It's a quote.
But the commodity is insurance. If we buy any more...
Well, it's a policy for, well, we've worked with the purchasing department, and so, Marty, where did Marty go?
Valde,
Yes,
is
sir.
it $394 for 50 people?
That's the premium. That's the premium for the policy, for a one-year premium policy.
That's only for volunteers.
Okay.
Right, it's for the volunteers, and Judge, by
Whenever they
volunteers,
people
I'm talking about those individuals that want to do internships with the county. They are non-county employees, they are not paid, they're volunteering their time for the county. And again, this is to cover those volunteers. We do come to Commissioners Court each and every time we have a volunteer or we have an internship request. Those are approved by Commissioners Court. Those are the individuals that we designate as volunteers.
Have we ever approved this we approved this last year?
I believe we did have coverage through our insurance. This is just for this coming next cycle.
But I mean, the auditor didn't have any problems last time?
Well, it's under $1,000 and what's...
But I understand the auditor's question. Then if I may, could we just, let me get some clarification and can we bring this up?
Steve, can you help us so we don't have to come back?
Judge, I need to look at a couple of things.
All right, we'll come back then.
Yeah, thank you. So that would, well, I'll talk to Marty. That'll include items F, 1, and 2 for right now. And so we'll come back to those.
All right. Item 8, Human Resources. Ms. Cortez. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Sylvia Rios with Human Resources.
I don't think there's any funding available for this item, Judge, but I think Sergio is going to address that.
Yes.
Judge, Commissioners, this item is for creation of 3 positions, deputy constable positions within Constable Precinct 1. The cost for the rest of the year is $87,987. If the court approves this action, we will bring back the funding item next week. Anyways, they still have to go through the advertisement period, so we would bring that funding item next week in the amount of $87,987 if the court wishes to create these 3 positions.
Move for approval. I'm sorry, what item are we on, sir?
Item 18A.
8A.
Didn't we give some deputies from precinct 5 when we dissolved precinct 1?
Yes, sir. Last year during the budget process, we did transfer 3 positions from the Constable Precinct 5. We did move some of the constables into Precinct 1. We moved 2 constables, I believe, into Precinct 2 and 1 constable into Precinct 4. So basically, at this time, what Constable Avila is requesting is to be made whole. He's arguing that there's a need for his office, and he's requesting these 2 positions.
But the workload's not really there. I mean, why don't we just...
I haven't seen any of the workload indicators, any workload measures as far as from the constable's office. They haven't provided my office.
Constable, would you like to address it? I guess the issue of need. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Morning, gentlemen. I know as of last year when we had all these workshops, like I said before, the last time I was here, as of workshop number 7, I felt that everything was going the way as far as Precinct 1, taking over the Delta area, and we were going to be having those 6 slots coming over. The one time that I could not make it to the workshop because I was at a funeral, for some reason, it didn't go through. Now, the part I understand right now is that if we had 6 deputies and the county was trying to save, but yet they said, Constable Avila, now you have this area, but instead of 6 deputies, we're going to give you 3. And like I said before, I'm not here just to ask for, I feel that there is a need. I'm asking for y'all's help.
Thank you.
The people in that area have confronted me, have talked to me. I've been getting phone calls that they need the security and the service that we want to continue serving those people in that area. And hopefully with these 3 slots, I will be able to keep at least 2 deputies in that area, in the Delta area. There's a lot of local business people that have their stores maybe till 1 or 12 at midnight. I would like to have these deputies come in a little later to work till 11 or 12 at midnight to patrol that area of those businesses. And also, I'm in charge of closing the Delta Park, the gate. And in the past, there was deputies that live in Edinburgh that would have to drive even on weekends all the way to Delta area just to close the gate, come back, and we were having to pay for that.
Yes, sir.
And for me, there's no need for that. We can assign a deputy to work during those hours, and at the same time, while he's getting paid, close the gate for the park.
What's going to be their duties?
The duties will be the same as all the rest of the deputies, except...
What about the new substation we're opening up for the sheriff's department in that area?
It's not in the Delta area.
Well, it's pretty close.
That's it. The thing is, also with Monte Alto and Hargill and La Villa has got partial police department and...
Right, the Monte Alto and Hargill do not have local police officers, department. So they rely on the constables like they have in the past for years, and they're wanting that service. And I understand that the sheriff has his deputies out there, and they're doing a great job. But at the same time, with the constables out there, it just reinforces that feel of security for the people in that area.
These deputies, all 3 are for the Delta area?
No, sir.
The deputy constables?
Well, out of those 3, I will assign 2 to that area at all times.
And how many will you now have patrolling the Delta area if you get these additional 3?
Total of 16.
The funny thing here is, I've got a big precinct too, and I would like to provide services to my rural areas too, but I mean, sometimes we can't do it.
Yes, sir.
I've got 7 Mile Line, I've got Southern City, I've got Los Evanos, Pueblitas, La Habana, all those people, but we got to stick with what we got.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out.
I think Sergio had numbers of how many deputies we had. Last time we spoke, you had a spreadsheet.
We did have that information. I don't have that information with me. Judge Commissioners, I can get that information and bring that back to the court in a few minutes.
Well, the constable will know how many he's got. How many will you now have, and how many were there a year ago when we did away with Precinct 5?
Yes, sir. We're at 13 deputies, and with these 3, it will be 16.
And how many do you have assigned to the Delta area?
Right now?
Right now, we're with what I have, we're trying to rotate everybody around to patrol the Delta area also, and the people feel that there's not enough visibility as far as the constables been in that area.
I still say that if we hire constables, they don't work 24 hours. Now, if we give the sheriff's department a couple more slots to patrol that area, they're there 24 hours. That's the way I see it.
The way I see it also, those deputies in place, they can do the same job as any other police officer, but the only thing is the advantage of being a constable, they can also do civil process, and they can also continue serving in the evenings and bringing in money for the county compared to just any other police officer.
Judge, I worked a few years in that area, and I know that before we had the decision about Precinct 5 Constable, there was just because of the way the office was operating, I understood. Now that we have one constable overseeing the entire department, there's he's building efficiencies, he's looking where the demand is. I understand that we took a few slots from you, and that's, and I'll make that conversation public. I mean, I understand what we took from you. The issue that we wanted to make sure is that we maximize the use of every constable out there and ensure that we're doing civil processing, so they paid for themselves.
Yes,
So I don't dispute the need that you have. And when you do, you have a lot more rural area than we do in Precinct 4 as compared to Precinct 3. I would say that they venture to say that they have the same argument. They have a lot of rural area that needs attention. But our fiduciary duty is one of our fiduciary duties is police protection. And it's the same argument that I was going to try to come in, because I believe in our area, being the fact that they do more civil processing, we still don't have the police protection that we have in our rural area. So, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place too, because we do have a lot of constables in our precinct. But I understand. I don't think that we don't empathize, that I don't empathize with the need.
I think what you need to do, Sergio, is have a little workshop with all 4 constables here.
Okay, sir.
Have a spreadsheet, see how many people each one's got, what their duties are, and which precinct provides what and what. Because Precinct 4, I understand, a lot of rural area. I have a lot of rural area, but I can't go out there and put a constable in every subdivision out there, especially up in the north of Michigan. And La Homa, Sullivan City, all that area. There's a lot of crime. But, I think it'd be better to give the sheriff's department some deputy sheriffs where they can control. It's worse, like from about 10 o'clock to early hours in the morning. So constables work 8 to 5, 8 to 6, maybe. He said 8 to, maybe 11 to 11, or maybe whatever it is. If they're going to go out there and do something wrong, it's going to be between midnight and 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Judge Commissioners, if y'all would allow me 2 weeks to get this information together and set up a workshop for not next week, but the following week, so that we can have a discussion as far as on the constable positions.
Bring them all together and see what their needs are.
Well, not only their needs, but the workload.
Yeah, what their workload is.
There's a lot of work to be done out there.
And if you could figure out for me, Sergio, where we were when we did away with Precinct 5, how many deputy constables were providing service to the Delta area, and how many were providing service to the rest of Precinct 1? And are we going to be increasing that number, or is it going to be the same, or?
I can provide that information, provide some statistical information as far as on prior years. I can look at warrants served and things of that nature.
How long will it take you to set up this meeting with the constables?
If I could have at least 2 weeks, I can get a lot of the personnel information done fairly quickly. However, some of the other information as far as the workload, the caseload for each of the constables, I will need to meet with each of them individually. I know Constable Avila will be able to meet with me today. However, I'm not sure what the schedule of the other constables are, so if I could have at least 2 weeks before I bring the workshop.
If you would let me know when that meeting is going to be, I'd like to either be there myself or someone from my office.
Yes, the meeting with the constables?
With the constables.
Sure, I'll send notice to each of the chiefs of staff of the court whenever we're going to be meeting with the constables. That way all have notice, and then we'll schedule that workshop for 2 weeks from now.
All right. Any other questions? So we're going to delay action on this for, 2 weeks? And between now and 2 weeks, we're going to have that meeting and then be able to make a presentation based on it?
Yeah, and I understand a lot of these constables, they need cars. But the budget, we saw our budget last year.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, sir.
Let's put it on the agenda for 2 weeks from now, Constable.
Okay, thank you.
Judge Commissioners, item 9A, Mr. Cáceres has asked if I could present this item on his behalf. Item 9A1 is requesting authorization to accept the border prosecution grant in the amount of $133,421.74.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Items 9A 2, 3, and 4 is approval of the certification of revenues, the appropriation of those funds, and the approval of the salary schedule for that grant.
Approval 2, 3, and 4.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 10, our Sheriff's Office.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
Gabriel Castañeda here for Hidalgo County Sheriff Guadalupe Trevino. Under item 10A, Sheriff's Office 1100, we're requesting authorization and approval for 2013 appropriation of funds for general fund reserves 1100 to Sheriff's Office Program 01 in the amount of $12,805.12.
Move for approval.
Need a second? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 10B, requesting authorization to accept the grant adjustment notice in reference to Operation Stove Garden fiscal year 2010, an authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign and the required documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For the record, can you state the amount of the grant?
It was roughly $3,000 that was, that 19 of our agencies did not spend because we couldn't complete a workday. The next item will be taken on by IT.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. IT Department's just trying to finalize and clear up all the phone issues. Again, all services at this point have been rolled over to the contract. We're just trying to pay the pending bills. So if I am requesting approval on item 10C, approval to process the following Verizon and AT&T invoices as listed.
Renata, there was a question for one of the owls.
Yes, sir.
Those bills are pretty high for one phone number. Does that include internet service?
No, what happens is at the clinics, depending on the size of the clinics, there are anywhere from 15 to 20 phone lines per clinic. They show up on one account, and the account's got one phone number, but they're multiple lines under the account. So that's why the bills are high. And in this case, for example,
we were told sometime back that they were higher than normal because we don't have a contract yet.
No, what happened that only applied on dedicated circuits, which did not apply on these particular bills. It's a complex situation. Once we get all this shaken down, I will submit a report to the court with the explanation of everything, because we've got a point-to-point circuit issue, we've got the local service issue, we've got Verizon issues, so there's like 4 different things going on.
All right, move for approval.
Is that gonna decrease the amount? Would you get?
No, we're actually, whatever went up, we are disputing, and at this point, we're starting to see some credits, and I'll list some of them on the next items.
Health Department.
Yes, sir.
All right, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Since I'm up here, if I can indulge the court's time, and I would like to take I'm going to skip over 11 if you don't mind, Eddie, for now. I would like to take item 11B, 11C, 11D, 11F, and 11I, and I apologize because they're not in order. I did not place this item, but again, these are claims to pay the AT&T phone bills for the different health department clinics. If you want, I can go over them specifically. 11B is the March bill for $57, and I request approval of that item.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
If you notice 11C, 1 is the claim for the bill, and 2 is actually a credit. So we're starting to get some credits back on the disputed amounts, but we've got to process both items. So I'm requesting approval.
1 and 2.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And it's pretty much the same procedure on D, 1 and 2, approval, requesting approval.
Move for approval on
D1 and 2.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Requesting approval on F, 1 and 2 as well.
Move for approval on F1 and 2, I guess.
Second.
That's on F?
That's E. You just skip
Did you skip E?
No, E is a diabetes awareness item.
Okay.
F.
Yeah, move for approval, yeah.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay. That was F, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry. And I, the requesting authorization approval on I'm sorry, I got thrown off here. 11I, and these are Verizon claims.
All right, move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. And one final one, I'm sorry, just got pointed out to me. Elections Administration, I hadn't included this one, but this is a claim for your wireless. I'm requesting approval on 16B.
Hold on, you're getting too far ahead of me. You're not moving to what number?
I'm sorry, 16B, Judge, under the Elections Administration. And I will make sure that if we have this again in the next few weeks, that they're all bundled together. That way we
All
don't
right,
have...
you want us to approve that invoice?
Yes, sir.
Move for
16B.
approval.
That's 16B, need a second?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Is that regular rates, Brennan?
I'm sorry?
Are we getting approval for regular rates or?
These are the regular rates, sir. These were just the local service that previously had not been on the contract. We are now, but we're just trying to pay the back invoices.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Let's move back. Item 11A, anything to report?
Yes, sir, real quickly, sir, on the item 11A, as the legislative came to an end yesterday, there was a new law that was passed that deals with the hospital fee that will be levied on the hospitals based on participation and support. That funding would become some of the matching funds to make up for that $500 million that was left on the table for IGT match. That mechanism is yet to be, the law came to effect, it got passed. Now we're going to have a series of meetings with, of course, legal counsel and the appropriate parties within the county to be able to determine in the mechanism to be able to obtain those fees, so that could become IGT and in return be invested back into the system so it could assist in our indigent health care program in South Texas.
If it involves the indigent health care program and they're going to be able to increase the amount, how can that help us by hopefully alleviating or eliminating our $8.25 million contribution?
I think that's the direction it's going to go, sir, in the future, but right now, that, at least for the next year, 2 years, we may have to maintain that, but I think once we start getting more clarity on the hospital district and all of that, once that mechanism starts coming into place, that could eventually be eliminated from the budget.
Well, I understand the hospital district, but what about this one, that is bed tax?
Yeah, well, this bed tax would be a separate situation, sir. Like I said, that would be determined directly for the IGT component. It's not necessarily uncompensated care. It would go into dealing with some of the disproportionate share and some of the programming they're looking at in the future. So all that could be determined. Like I said, the mechanism has not fully been established yet, and that's yet to be determined.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Eddie, so that bill passed?
Yes, sir.
The local participation?
Now it was called the local participation fee, and now it's called the mandatory fee. They changed the wording on it, but it did pass.
Because one of those bills requires the county to get involved and also establish a depository to account for those monies.
That's correct. So that's the mechanism we're going to have to work on, working with Mr. Verdial's office at the county tax collector's office, work with the hospitals, work with all that to determine the mechanism of how that will be done.
Okay.
And of course, I want to make it very clear for the record, this is also still pending. We still got to meet with CMS and meet with all those folks. Even though the law passed, we still need to go through the procedures, getting approval from the federal government and state government, et cetera, et cetera.
So you get to do away with our participation at every step of the way. See if we can.
I think that's the eventual goal, sir. Eventually, when we get there, I think that's the direction it's going to be in the future, maybe.
All right, go ahead. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, next item, sir, I'm going to move to item 11E, is requesting approval to apply for grant funding in the amount of $2,500 from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Minority Health. This funding help promote Hidalgo County Diabetes Awareness Day.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Item 11G is pursuant to Texas Local Government Code Section 157.903, requesting approval of indemnification of uncollectible amounts in the amount of $204.09. This is in pursuance to the county auditor's recommendation and procedures we're following with county auditor and county treasurer. With the transition of our bank accounts that the county is going through, we're needing to be able to get our accounts closed down, and this is a procedural we need to follow through, making sure that we are able to meet those transaction requirements.
Move for approval of G1, 2, and 3.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item H, sir, is requesting approval to renew a period of 1 year, the memorandum of understanding with Texas A&M University Health System Center for On-Site Education Program. This is a memorandum, an agreement that we're going to have for practicum students from the Masters of Public Health to be allowed to participate for another year within our program.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And I think that's, yes, that's all our items, sir.
Item
Pardon
J.
me? J? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. J, requesting approval to apply for community funding project in the amount not to exceed $25,000 offered by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Minority Health. This is a grant that we got for some participation in dealing with diabetes, also diabetes and cardiovascular disease.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do you have anything to report, Mr. Montoya?
Yes, sir. Just real quick. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. There's no change, significant change in the water, at the watershed. However, we've received several questions about whether the rains that we're getting make any change in the situation. And the media and everybody's reporting what they're supposed to, that it doesn't change the drought situation. However, for our purposes of the push water situation, it does help. Every time the farmers don't irrigate, or the people don't irrigate their yard, it prolongs the need for push water a little further. So where they had given us a July 31st, a mid to late August window of having to relook at push water necessity, now it pushes it out to September. So every time it does rain, it does help. So we're hoping everybody keeps on praying for rain, that it keeps on happening. But other than that, I don't have anything else.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Item 14, our HIDA task force.
Judge, if I might, sir, we've received several calls at the office also about people wanting to help with the disasters that are going on. It's not only what's going on in Oklahoma. They're still dealing with the East Coast and then Cook County. So if anybody wants to donate, it's not so much of taking stuff over there, but if they want to give to the Red Cross or to Salvation Army, if you really, really want to help, the best way to do that is for people to donate money, and then they distribute that in terms of help. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, item 14.
Judge, if I may, Ms. Munoz could not be with
Go
us
ahead,
this
sir.
morning. So, item 14A, they're asking approval of the claims invoices for Superior Alarms totaling $550. Again, this would be with authority for the Hidalgo County Treasurer's to issue payment after auditing procedure completed by the county auditor. They are listed there, the invoice dates, the invoice numbers, the locations, and the dollars amount that equal or total $550. Just very quickly, this was a contract that expired. There was a gap before they got it back under contract, and so the gap consists of $550 with these invoices as listed.
Balde,
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering why we have an invoice dated almost a year ago.
I can't answer that, Mr. Ofracio. I'll work with HIDA. I'm aware that it was a contract that expired. There was a gap before they got it back under contract. But these are the invoices that fell under that gap. I will work with HIDA to ascertain that information for you.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Item 15, Urban County.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning, ma'am.
The first item on the agenda is request on behalf of the City of Elsa requesting authority to purchase playground equipment for the Mario Leal Park. This purchase will be made from American Parks Company. Purchase contract 370-11. It's an installation contract 346-10. An approved vendor through Hidalgo County's membership and participation with the State of Texas Buy Board. The amount of the contract will be $111,634.20.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is a request from the state of Texas requesting that the Commissioners Court appoint a Section 3 certifying officer, and then we're requesting that I be appointed the Executive Director of the Urban County Program to be appointed the Section 3 certifying officer to ensure that we comply with Section 3 requirements.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Section B of Part B is the consideration and approval to authorize the county judge to sign any and all documents associated with the Section 3 compliance requirements.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We are requesting no action on item C.
Item D.
Item D is requesting the award of bids and approval of contract for the demolition and reconstruction of the following. This is one unit considered to be in the county-wide area. The amount of the contract would be $43,680 to G&G Contractors.
Move for approval.
Diana, was the insurance coverage
Yes, sir.
listed at county?
Yes, sir, it was forwarded and attached to the agenda item.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code 262.024, A4 for professional review appraisal services.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is presentation of the scoring bid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of the sole member of the county's approved pool. This is part of the GLO contract, and the service is HLH Appraisal Services that was rated at 94.33.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is the authority to negotiate a professional review appraisal services contract with HLH Appraisal Services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Our final item is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code 262.024, A4 for professional appraisal services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B is presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of the 3 appraisal service firms that were evaluated. The first one is identified as Leonel Garza Jr. and Associates with a grade of 94.33, Professional Appraisal Services with 91.33, and HLH Appraisal Services with 89.66.
Move for approval.
Need a second?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, item B of Section F is the authority to negotiate a contract with the number 1 ranked firm of Leonel Garza Jr. and Associates.
Move. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 16.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. A Vote Center Selection Committee update on item 16A. Just to let you know that tonight will be the first of a series of meetings where, as per your recommendation, Judge, we will have a majority-minority. Tonight will be a night of review. We have, everyone has submitted all their choices. We've put them all on maps, and tonight will be a review where they will be able to, the whole committee as one, will be able then to look at the entire process and ask questions, while tomorrow and possibly Thursday will begin the selection.
Have you allowed input from city clerks and school district personnel that are normally involved in elections?
We can go ahead and contact them.
I think you ought to contact them so they won't be surprised to all of a sudden hear of any changes.
As far as the selection of the vote centers?
Yes.
We have submitted all the recommendations. So the committee as a whole, as per the committee that was set up here, will have an opportunity to review. They are the voting members of this committee. So as per your selection, that's what will transpire starting today.
Right. I just want to make sure that election officials within our political subdivisions cities and school districts are aware of what you're doing or we're doing.
Yes, sir. And we did have that workshop with this court when Lubbock came, and at that time, we let everyone know, Judge. And in the audience, there were quite a few elected officials from the cities, a lot of city secretaries, and so the word is out there, and we continue to let them know what is happening. We keep them updated, keeping in mind that we are looking at November.
You may want to have one more meeting inviting all these people.
We can, sir, prior to, perhaps when the selection has been done, if you would like, then we can host another
Yes.
workshop and have everyone come and review.
Right.
Yes, sir. I will
Okay.
certainly look into that. Thank you. Also, just to remind this court that we do have the Commissioners Court workshop for Thursday, June 6th, and this is the security workshop that this court also and some elected officials have requested. It will be at the Health Department Conference Room on Thursday, June 6th at 10 a.m., and please know that we do need a quorum as this is a county commissioners workshop. So I'm having my office call your chief deputies and your right hands. This will be an incredible time to show our transparency, to have the community as well ask questions and have two very experts in the fields of election security come and answer those questions. We have a person representing our equipment, our vendor that sells us the equipment, and also Mr. Wade, who is the security technology person for the district attorney's office, who helped us with our security as well. So very important workshop, and I will be letting your offices know so that we have a quorum for this very important time. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Item B? Oh, they already got it? Yeah, okay.
Okay, item
Oh, yeah.
17A.
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, we got approval to accept a donation from Caliche from Oxy USA Incorporated. They're donating 500 loads, which has a value of $400,000, and that's for material and delivery. It's from two pad sites that they're reclaiming out, and so they're donating to the county.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 18A, City of Cruz Department of Budget and Management. 18A is approval of amendment to the overtime program agreement between the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Forces and the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office. This will reduce the award amount from $14,000 to $13,000.
Approved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B would be to unappropriate the funds in the amount of $1,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is a little bit of cleanup work for the last fiscal year, is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditors for the 2012 capital lease expenditures. And item B would be the appropriation of those revenues and the appropriation of those expenditures in the total amount of $141,500.37.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 18B, 1 is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for the proceeds from the sale of assets by Precinct 1 to the Drainage District.
Move for
Move for
approval.
approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item B2 would be the appropriation of those funds and the total amount of $874,424.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Item 19, purchasing.
Yes, good morning, Martha Salazar for Purchasing Department. 19A1 to A, B, or C, nothing to report or action to be taken or considered. Item 3, this is presentation of bids received, and this is for traffic signs, traffic, road signs, and other related miscellaneous equipment for Hidalgo County. We had 13 packets requested, 3 submitted bids, 1 awarded recommendation, that's Delta Specialties. Of the 3, that was the 1 qualified bidder.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of sole bid received. There were 11 packets requested. The sole bid received was the qualifying bid, and this is for Roy's Hauling. This is hauling services for millings, and this is for Precinct 1.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For Precinct 2, we have approval to purchase one new T-Rex backhoe loader through county's membership and participation with HGAC. The awarded vendor there is One Source Equipment, contract number as stated, in the amount of $93,685. And this is, but not limited to the administration fee and delivery.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
The second purchase for approval is one new 2012 Doosan DL250TC loader through HV Equipment, that is through the Buy Board's awarded vendor at $145,000.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For Precinct 4, we're requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A, and that's a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The next, and this is presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking of the three firms graded and evaluated. That was TEDSI Infrastructure 98, Quintanilla Headley at 96, and Building Transportation Infrastructure DBA BTI Incorporated at 94. Does the court wish to rank them in their order or their scores?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Authority for purchasing to negotiate professional engineering services with number one, TEDSI, or at least commence it with TEDSI.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, also for Precinct 4, requesting exemption under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A, a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
This is presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking of those three firms graded and evaluated: TEDSI Infrastructure Group, LaFever Environmental Management, and Terracon Consultants. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Authority for purchasing to negotiate, commencing with the number one, that is TEDSI, and this is for engineering services for Roosevelt Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
On the previous request, this was also TEDSI to negotiate with, and that was for Monmac Road. I just wanted to clarify that.
Move for approval.
We had already done it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Oh, okay. Under item 3, acceptance of a proposal received from awarded vendor Facility Solution Group in the amount of $26,796.74. This is the awarded contractor for Buy Board. This is for Hone Subdivision Solar Lights Project. And the specifications were drawn up by Mr. Raul Cecin, PE.
Move for approval.
How many lights does it include?
Oh, Commissioner, I'd have to go into my computer. I don't know how many lights that, but I certainly can email you the information.
Huh?
I don't know. Sergio, do you have your? I didn't bring my, the item for, item 3, under precinct 4. See what my backup says.
Marty, is everything purchased listed under the contract?
As far as I know, we did verify under this one. Let's see.
I think it's be one light. Just one?
Slow?
I think it's one light,
It's just
right?
slow giving me the information.
They don't have an answer.
No, it's attached. It's just, it's slow in coming through the,
Can you get it for Commissioner Palacios so we
yeah,
can
I'll give it
act
to
on
him right
it?
after we're done. It'll come up, and I can.
We have a motion and a second in support of and approval. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
E1 for facilities, requesting authority to exercise the 60-day grace period extension. Get it in just a minute. For maintenance and repair of elevators, and this is under the same rates, terms, and conditions. There was a concern. We have provided the copy of the original contract, and we have provided the insurance. So they
You
have
have their
been-
insurance?
And they've been loaded up.
For approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
And the item B is requesting authority to advertise for that project.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Judge,
Yes.
oh, she still has one more?
Just one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Under countywide, we're requesting award and approval of contract for, and this is welding supplies. We had 12 participants, 3 submitted bids. The one recommendation is Airgas USA LLC. Need action?
Who was it?
Airgas?
Oh, okay. Move for approval.
Marty, you doing everything, the presentation of the bids and approval of the contract at once?
Yes, sir. It's all captioned.
I need a second.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge,
Palacios here.
Commissioners, if I may, could we go back to item 7F? We do have clarification. Ms.
Under
Marty
the
will-
commodity code that
Please.
this policy would be purchased, we've had a year-to-date expenditure of $1,800. So the 3 quotes are appropriate and we can proceed to award.
So you had different commodity codes
Yes,
for
it's for
different type of insurance?
accidental coverage.
So,
I just had the staff look
okay,
that
so
up.
with that being said, Judge Commissioners could, again, under item 7F, this was the countywide insurance, this again was for the volunteers. I am asking to accept the quote for the renewal accident insurance from June 5th, 13 to June 5th, 2014, with authorization for me to sign all documents as needed.
And approval of the invoice?
That's 1 and 2, brother.
And item 2 would be the premium of payment of the invoice, $394.
Need a second?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. Again, for the record, it is for 50 volunteer slots.
Pursuant to 551-071 and 072, need a motion to
Question for
proceed to
Commissioner.
executive session.
They had a question on Commissioner Palacios. How many solar lights you have on that project?
There's 4.
4? Okay. He's asking.
Need a motion and a second to go to executive.
No move.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries. We'll be in executive session for a while. right, we're back convening into open session. Item 21, Mr. Guerra.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Item 21A, real estate acquisition, no action. Item 21B, pending and or potential litigation, no action. Item 21C, no action under economic development. Item 21D, claim of Edinburgh Real Estate Network, proceed as directed. Item 21E, C 2514-13-A, Maria Angelica Villegas versus LC Correction Services, Inc., and Hidalgo County, Texas. Judge, Commissioners, I want to refer back to item 7A1 and 2. 7A1, request exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, Section 2620224, a professional service for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation. Could I have action to that effect?
Motion for that?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
7A2, I'm requesting engagement with the firm of Atlas, Hall and Rodriguez for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation and authority to submit a letter of engagement specifically as it pertains to C 2514-13-A, Maria Angelica Villegas versus LCS Correction Services, Inc., and Hidalgo County, Texas.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item 21F, C 2958-13-B, Jaime Villarreal and Maria de Jesus Villarreal versus City Financial, Inc., and Herminia Rios. Judge, Commissioners, for the record, this is being facilitated by Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office. This is a TRO issue. Josephine Ramirez. Yes.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And 21G, again, same action, C 2866-13-G, Juan E. Reyes and Haid H. Reyes versus Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation and Eddie Guerra, Constable 4, Precinct 4, El County. Again, for the record, this will be facilitated by Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office. This is a TRO issue as well.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
21H, claim of Isaro Pruneda. Judge, Commissioners, I would like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $400 in settlement of this claim.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Need a
That's all I
motion
have.
to adjourn?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.